Yo, traders. Welcome to Simply Forex. Trader Tom here, and I hope you are all marvelous. I am with you for the next 40 minutes or so, depending on how many of your questions you ask. And yeah, don't be shy. Ask as many questions as you like. Get stuck in, say hello. Tell me how your trading day is going. Tell me what you're struggling with. Yeah, as traders, guys, we all struggle with something, right? So let me know what it is and we can take a look at it, during the live stream. So just let me know, or maybe there's a currency pair that you want us to analyze. When I say us, I'm not bipolar. I mean, us as a community to analyze. So we can do that as well, guys. The possibilities are endless. Right. So yeah, that's the plan. We're going to take all of your questions. I'm also going to show you a couple of trades that I'm in, because obviously this is the first live stream of the week. And yeah, I'll show you the trades that I'm in currently. What else are we going to do? Let's take a quick look at the economic calendar as well. I know there's no news coming out, but it's important to mention that we did have this CPI data earlier on. Okay, and all as expected, right? Okay, so yeah, no real dramatic moves with euro, because it was all as expected. But also, guys, you must be aware of this later on. All right, so we've got building permits and housing starts coming out of the US at 1:30. These are all London GMT. And again, coming out of Canada, we've got more inflation, right, with CPI. So need to be aware of that if you're in any US dollar or Canadian dollar pairs. Yeah, and also yen's been interesting, so it's worth keeping an eye on this, because yen has super bearish, as in the yen pairs. So the yen is super strong, right? And then it just sort of tracks back and then it's super strong again, because I've been in this Swiss franc yen trade and I've taken some profit off of this trade. But it's been pretty volatile, the yen pairs, right? We had this big sell-off on Friday and then price slowly ticked back up on Monday, right? I was in this trade and then bang, it shot back down again. So we're getting some real volatile moves with the yen. But, again, guys, even if it's volatile, just come out, right? Come out and look at the bigger picture, okay? And the bigger picture is on the day chart, we are in a downtrend, right? So don't get too caught up in all this volatility. Ultimately, we're in a downtrend. So, sell the market when you get an opportunity. If volatility kicks in, it should, according to daily trend, kick it in your favor, right? So, yeah, that's been the yen and Swiss franc yen. And like I say, guys, I just took, the market has told me that this is the last low, right? Now, my target is further down here, right? So my first target was at 17351. And I'd even take some profit down to 173. So these would be my higher time frame targets. But just do what the market tells you. Don't try and, outsmart the market, okay? So price came down. I started selling roughly here. I added to the position up here, right? And then as soon as price comes back down to this last low, take some profit. The market has said, Tom, this is where buyers are. And I said, okay, thank you, Mr. Market. I will take some profit at that level if there's buyers there. And simple as that, guys. We take some profit of this. I've left some profit to run. Let's see if it carries on. It's at an interesting level again now, this Swiss franc yen. If you look on the H1, right, it's, this H1 is clearly in a downtrend. And it's come back to what was once support can become good resistance. So it's at a really interesting level now. you know, it could potentially come down and test these lows again. All right, so Swiss, easy for me to say, get my teeth in. Yeah, Swiss franc yen has given us some profits, right, today. I'm also in euro pound buys. My motherland's currency, is that even proper English? Not sure. The pound is very weak, right? And we've seen that across the board. All my trade ideas today are pound weakness and silver. Right, so yeah, it's all about the pound weakness today. But if we drop to the H4, I've just been tracking this H4 uptrend. Okay, and this is where we are currently. We're clearly getting higher lows and prices respecting this trend line that I've drawn in, and we're getting higher highs, right? Clearly in an uptrend. And I still think this has a little bit more room to move into, potentially even higher than this, guys, up to this 84,000. So, yeah, looking good with euro pound. I've actually, my stop loss was down here. I now moved my stop loss up to here, and I added to this position in here. Okay, so again, if you want to know how to manage trades, how to add to winning positions, then please come join our, well, first of all, come join our free Discord channel. It's free, so come join it, right? It's just come in, sign up, we let you in, right? We are not very good bouncers. So yeah, come in, guys. And then secondly, if you want all my tutorials, you can join the VIP Trading Academy as well. And also, guys, right now, we're giving you the VIP Trading Academy for free, right? It's normally around $300 for the year, but it's free if you sign up with Pepperstone. You can see the broker above my head. Not only are they compatible with TradingView, you will get free access to the VIP Trading Academy. And if that's not enough, you will also get a premium TradingView account given to you as well. That is deal of the century. I sound like something out of Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. So there you go, guys. Check all that out. So euro pound I'm in, and I'm also in New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, right? And this is a bit of a weekly play, right? So if we start with the weekly chart, right, you can see we're in this higher time frame channel between here and here. This is what's known as a channel, right? I'll have you know that my dad helped build the Euro tunnel that goes through the English Channel. There you go. Interesting fact. Yeah, he did. We were one of the first people to go through the tunnel. How exciting. Not that exciting, to be honest, but there you go. Right. So weekly, right? So we are at the bottom of this trend line. Okay, and if we zoom in, just look at these wicks, right? Look, not only these wicks, but this wick as well that bounced off of this piece of support, right? And right, we are in, so weekly, right? But daily is in a downtrend, right? There's no two ways about it. Okay, this is in a downtrend. So it's a bit of a weekly play. And I've traded it aggressively because I haven't waited for a daily structure break. I actually traded a H4 structure break. Okay, so if we drop down to the H4, right, as soon as we saw this H4 downtrend, excuse me, guys, I've had so many digestive biscuits. I know I say this quite regularly on the on the live stream, but it's true. I've overdone it. So as you can see, guys, we're in this uptrend, right, on the H4. And I actually was interested in entering as soon as we broke this level. I got a bit of a retrace and I started entering in here. All right, so I have a buy trade in here. My stop loss is down here. And the idea is to potentially take price just up to this last high in here. All right, so that's the trade I'm in with New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar as well. So there you go, guys. You are all up to date with the trades that I am in. How exciting. Right, let's take a look who's in the house. Colin, how are we, mate? That place you sent me in Bali looks absolutely beautiful. I'm getting the next flight. McFlave from Public Enemy, fight the power. In the words of Flavor Flav, that is what he said, fight the power. McFlave, you are showing your age there. Aubrey, please can you also analyze New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and pound yen? Okay, Aubrey, we'll take a look at that, no problem. Rich Paul, what's up? CJ, bit of full-on twit this morning. CJ, I did see that comment in the VIP, and yeah, so CJ was in the VIP, guys, right? He's sorry, not was, he is, right? Present tense. And I believe CJ literally had like, so he was in this trade, right? Potentially he was buying from here. CJ, I'm guessing this is how your trade went, okay? And you became nicely in profit, but hadn't hit target, right? And then as a result, you moved your stop loss up to break even, right? And then literally this candle come down, just took out the trade at break even, and then went back on its merry way. And you were thinking, in your words, what a twit. Why didn't I, why did I move it to break even? And this is, I'm not saying don't move things to break even, right? Because it becomes a risk-free trade and there's a lot of psychological benefits to that, right? But what I would do is I would place my trailing stop according to price action, right? So you can see euro pound, right, has been, tracking this. But you can see there's these lows in here and this low here. So I would consider them, both of them, the last low. And we've got this trend line as well. So I would, at the very least, be putting my stop loss, let's say 5 pips below here. Sorry, you don't know that's there at that point. I would at least put my 5 pips below here, right? So that's 32, so down to about, 27. Yeah, put your stop loss in here, okay? Because then you are trading the chart and not your profit and loss, right? If you move a trade to break even, you're ultimately trading your P&L and you're trading from a point of, I can relax, it's risk-free, which is good, but you're not trading the chart. So still give your stop loss, as you trail your stop loss, give it enough room to be able to take these whipsaws down, okay? And then carry on. All right, so yeah, I did see that, CJ, and this is what I was going to say about it. So yeah, don't be so quick to move trades to break even, guys. Use the chart to determine where to trail your stop. Right, what else are we looking at? Cat 3, for how long is that offer? That offer is ongoing, Cat. Okay, so yeah, if you want access to the VIP Trading Academy and you want a premium TradingView account, then please sign up with Pepperstone using our affiliate link and we will sort you out. Right, we've got Himanshu. Is it a good time to long Euro Swiss franc? Okay, we'll take a look at that as well. Abby, how are you? Michael, hi as well. Right, so let's go back to Aubrey. And he wanted, or he or she wanted to look at New Zealand dollar, US dollar, right? Let me have a quick sip of my coffee. Liverpool FC mug. Guys, if you want to support a football team, support Liverpool FC. Right, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. As with a lot of the US dollar pairs, we are seeing this. We are seeing price at a key weekly level, right? That is a key weekly level. So at some point, we can expect buyers to push price up. I would say that's a fact. That's a guarantee almost, right? Because it's a weekly level, right? And buyers have come into this market. Now, will they push price up to here? Will they push price up to here? We don't know, but we know there will be buyers. Okay, so first and foremost, I don't want to sell New Zealand dollar, US dollar, right? Never sell into support. That is what crazy people do. Having said that, the cup and saucer pattern, the cup and handle pattern is exactly that. And it's traded a lot in stocks. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so I don't want to sell New Zealand US dollar. Sells are now taken off the table. I don't want to sell it, right? So all I'm left with is buys or don't trade it. Okay, now if we drop down to the daily chart, you can see, right, these buyers have started to come into play a bit, right? That is a very bullish candle. That is dwarfing the last 2 daily candles. So that would suggest we have a bit of, room to the upside. And I would suggest this last area of support, now resistance, would be a good area, right? With the moving average 20 coming in as well. So if I had to trade this pair, which I don't, I would buy it, right? And I would buy it up to this level. Maybe aim for this 5,950. Okay? But, and there is a big but, right? We are in a downtrend, right? We're getting lower lows. We're in a downtrend. Sorry, guys, I've eaten so many biscuits. I always say to myself, don't eat too much before you come on the live stream, Tom. And then I just polish off a bag of, what would you call it? A packet of crisps. So there you go. But anyway, so that's, I would want to buy this really, but we're in a downtrend. So I'm not interested. Okay, so I would stay away from New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Okay, but if I had to, I would buy it up to here. And if you look at the dollar index, right, this is a big clue as to what could be happening. And again, the dollar index, which is a good indication of where the dollar can go, right, is at an extreme weekly level, right? Look how it reacted last time. And this is also worth pointing out as well, guys, right? So first of all, we're at a weekly level, so we can expect a bit of a sell-off from the US dollar. How much this will, weaken, we don't know, but we can expect sellers in here. Now, look, this is an important point, right? Look how price is like an elastic band, right? And you're probably thinking, Tom, has Tom finally broken? Has he gone finally mental? 100%, like full mental. And the answer is hopefully not. But look at this, right? When you get price like this, that becomes so extended in a short period of time, right? It acts like an elastic band. And you will get a snap back, quite a large proportion of the way it traveled up, right? This almost come all the way back down to literally where it started, okay? That doesn't happen, right, when you have structure like this. It's a nice, slow, ebbing kind of price action, right? But again, big aggressive move, elastic band is stretched, it snaps back. I would consider this a big aggressive bearish mood with very little pullback, price snaps back. And the same is happening here. Very bullish price, right? Price action. There's none of this, right? It's just kapow. Right? So when you get that kind of price action, we can expect a snap back of some kind as well. All right. And you'll see it after any big bullish move with no, Okay, I'm sort of can't even see price action there. But yeah, you'll get that kind of snapping back after a big aggressive move. And this is what we could potentially see with the dollar guys there. All right, so if anything, I would suggest dollar weakness in the very near term, right? But please don't forget New Zealand dollar, US dollar, the dollar index, euro, US dollar, all of them are in trends, downtrend or uptrend, which means US dollar strength. Okay, let me just reiterate what I mean. So this is in a downtrend. So if we're in a downtrend, maybe we do get that dollar strength up to here, but here is still a good selling level, right? Because we're in a downtrend. All right, so don't lose sight of that. So there you go. I hope that helps Aubrey. Right, we've also got a question here about Euro Swiss franc. So without even looking at this pair, this would suggest you are looking at a liquidity sweep, right? So let me explain what I mean, guys. So this level through here, if we go to the weekly, right? This level through here has been holding like a bad boy. It's been holding like something that holds very well, like what, you know, like a, I don't know, like a barrel of wine. Holds the wine really well. Oh dear, I do not know where I'm going with that analogy. I apologize. I've been drinking too much coffee. Right, but this level is holding. It is. Okay, will it continue to hold? We'll see. Right, but if we go to the daily, right, all this price action through here has been holding. Okay, now what Himanshu is maybe suggesting, I'm not sure, but you know, if this candle, right, closes back in, let's say we end up with a wick that ends, let's say today's candle ends up looking like that, still a red candle, right, with a bit of a top wick, but it ends up looking like that. That would suggest, and it would scream of a liquidity grab, right? Anyone who's buying here with a view to taking price up to here, which I was, right, have now been stopped out, okay? It's because everyone's stop is going to be down here somewhere, right, below these lows. So everyone's stop is in here, and the market has come crashing down, taken out all of these stop losses, and, you know, you can't help think the big boys are building a trade, right, for them to then take price higher. Okay, now, okay, that may be the case. You won't really have any idea if that is the case, but you can kind of see these liquidity grabs, right? They pop down, take all the stop losses out, and then close back within support, right? And if that does happen, I still wouldn't be interested really, because for me, this has kind of, that is now the structure for me, right? We're getting lower highs, and as we know, these lows are kind of holding. We'll see today as well. So I'm not interested in buying Euro Swiss franc. Okay, I would be interested in buying Euro Swiss franc. Let's say if something like this happened, right, and it broke this last daily high, started to see higher lows, I'd be interested, right? But right now, not interested. And it really does depend how this candle finishes as well. If you would regard that as a good buying candle, I wouldn't, right? And at the very least, if I am going to buy like a candle that finishes like this, I at least, right, want to see a H4 break. And you could be waiting a long time, right? Let's say price comes down. Now, currently, the last lower high is here. And I would need to see price break that, okay? But what's more likely to happen is this, the price comes down, hits this level through here, comes down again, tests these lows, and then it breaks this next lower high, right? And then we would have a trade. I would wait for at the very least this type of structure break on Euro Swiss franc. All right, so yeah, Himanju, not a buy for me right now, and I hope you understand when and how I would buy Euro Swiss franc. Right, who else is in the house? Okay, so we got a question here from Gabby G. Gabby G, you sound like a, you know, like a DJ. Gabby G on the wheels of steel. Anyway, hi Tom, market related. Do you find in general market more unpredictable, crazy than before? E.g. daily candle EU after US election the next day? So, funnily enough, Gabby, I was having this conversation the other day, and you know, people were asking me like, are the markets more volatile, right, these days? And the simple answer is no, right? You just when it comes to trading, your memory doesn't stretch that far back because you're so focused on the present. But you know, if you go back to the last Trump election, or you went back to you know, some previous trouble in the Middle East, or you know, another conflict that was taking place, right, or you know, or something happening in the world. Basically, what I'm trying to say, there's always something happening from a geopolitical, macroeconomic view. Always, right? And that always leads to volatility in the market. Always. And that's been true since the incarnation, is that the right word? Since the birth of online trading charts like this, right? Or just any investing, right? There's always been volatility externally on the markets, right? And whether that's war or whether it's, you know, geopolitical, like trading sanctions, or whether it's about a diplomatic thing, a new leader comes in like we saw with Trump, right? It doesn't matter, right? There's always going to be something. So all you can do as a trader is just trade what you see in front of you. Now, during the US elections, I did sort of sit out of the market, right? Pretty much. I think I got in a trade on Friday of that week, right? But I pretty much sat out of the market because we knew there would be volatility, okay? But that's quite rare, right? You know, when a country invades another country, you don't know that's going to happen. And then the volatility is sprung on you, right? But with Donald Trump, we knew that it was all happening, right? So we had a choice to stay out of the market. And that's what I did. But it's also things like, you know, inflation, interest rate, GDP. These are all going to move markets. Now, we need all of these things to move the markets. Otherwise, you'd probably end up with, you know, markets that look like this. Just do that, right? It's fundamentals and geopolitics that make markets do this or do this or do this, right? You need that in the markets, but don't get too caught up in it, right? Why would you? You don't. After Trump gets. The thing with fundamentals is this, right? So, and macroeconomic, geopolitical, once they've happened, you don't have a magic ball, right? Sorry, not a magic ball, a crystal ball that's also magic. Maybe it's magic and it's a crystal ball, right? But my point is you can't see into the future. So you don't know what Donald Trump is going to be like for the indices. You'll probably think, okay, he's pro-business, he's cutting corporate tax. It will be good for the indices. But even something externally can affect what Donald Trump wants to do. Maybe China puts some sanctions, some trading sanctions and embargoes back on Trump, and it affects the indices. Or, you know, China stop importing goods to America. And, there's so many external variations, and you would go mental trying to predict exactly where this will be at this time, or where will euro US dollar be in 3 months. I think the indices in 6 months will be here. Don't waste your energy, right? To be quite honest, right? Just look at what's in front of you, and you use euro US dollar as an example, right? And what is in front of you is this. We are in a downtrend, so we want to sell it. But if we go to the weekly chart, we are bouncing off a key level of weekly support. So no trade, right? Keep it as simple as that. Don't think, oh, but then we got the euro inflation figures coming out. They've talked about reducing the interest rate further. There's electric cars coming into Europe from China. Germany's in a bit of a bad state economically, right? Before you know it, you'll have grey hair and you'll confuse yourself, right? You'll be twiddled up in knots. I don't think that's a saying either. You'll be tied up in knots, and you'll be none the wiser, right? You won't. You'll be predicting the future. Don't predict the future, right? And if you can predict the future, let me know, right? That goes for anyone who's listening. If you can predict the future, please let me know and give me a trading tip right now. Right? So just trade what's in front of you, right? And like I say, this is in a downtrend, so I'd want to sell it, but it's at support, so I can't sell it. If we go to the day chart, I would probably want to see something like this happen. Let's say price comes down, we get a little bit of sideways action because we've got daily sellers, weekly buyers, and then perhaps we finally get a break of structure. And then I would just trade what I'm seeing, and I would buy this, right? And not at any time have I thought about the economic state of the Eurozone, right? Or, what Lagarde might say in her next speech. Who cares, right? Trade what you see, and then that's all you can do. In my opinion, that's all you can do, right? And just keep rinse and repeating that. So there you go, Gabby G, our in-house DJ. I hope that helps. Right. Okay, Trev Beats 77. Sounds like another DJ. We've got like a DJ convention in today. This is good. Guys, before we look at Trev Beat 77 question, if I can ask everyone to please subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button right now, guys. All right. Also, come join our trading community. It's free, so come join our free Discord channel. And if you're looking for a broker right now, we've got a great promotion with Pepperstone. You'll get free VIP access, and you'll get a premium TradingView account given to you as well. So if you want to switch brokers or get a new broker, then check out Pepperstone promotion. Okay, so Trev Beat said, can you do the top down for the Dow Jones? It looks like it can drop big. Again, comments, there's nothing wrong with that. I felt like I'm having a go at everyone. So I will definitely do a top-down approach, right? And we will let the Dow Jones tell us if it can drop big. And all I'm going to do is analyze the chart using technical analysis. Sorry, guys, I'm eating far too many biscuits. Let's even start with the monthly chart, right? Now, This will be interesting, actually, all right? So here we go, monthly chart. I don't normally start with the monthly chart, but let's take a real, higher time frame perspective of the indices, right? It'll be good for all of us. Yeah, we enjoy doing this kind of thing. Now, it's in an uptrend. It is clearly, so it's clearly in an uptrend, but it's clearly overbought or overextended, right? Which basically means there's no value in buying this up here, right? It's too overextended. Then take a look at the candlesticks, right? We had a very bearish month last month, and it will be interesting to see how this month finishes, because obviously we had the Trump effect. He come in, indices went flying, but now the markets have had time to absorb Trump coming in. It will be really interesting to see how this candle finishes. And even if this candle finishes like this, closing back below this candle, I do not want to buy the Dow Jones, right? I don't. I also don't want to sell it, looking at this monthly chart just yet, right? But I don't want to buy it, okay? But let's get another view. Let's get the weekly charts view. Now, the weekly, again, is in an uptrend, right? It's not too overextended or too overbought, right? But we did have a nice big bearish candlestick here. But the weekly is telling me that if we get a bit more of a retrace, then potentially this could be a good buying opportunity, right? The moving average 20 is not miles away. I would look to buy the Dow Jones, right? So again, we've got a little bit of conflicting information with the monthly and the weekly, and this is exactly what we don't want to take a trade, right? We don't want conflict. When I take a trade, I want the weekly, the daily, the H4 going, Tom, buy me, and and tapping me on the back as I enter my buy trade, right? The Dow Jones is not doing this, right? But yeah, that's how I would view the weekly, right? This candle suggests a slightly deeper retrace. And then if we start seeing some bullishness, we can take it back up. That's what I would see on the weekly. If we go down to the day chart now, this is also crying out for a buy, really. This is, if we just sort of track this daily price action, really that's what we're seeing. Okay, you could be a little bit more refined with the structure, but this is pretty much what we're seeing, right? We're in an uptrend. No matter how you draw that structure, it's in an uptrend, and it's retraced to a nice level here, right? What was once resistance becomes support, right? And as we know, I use the moving average 20 as dynamic support or resistance, and support in this case. So this entire zone in here looks like a good buying zone for me to take price back up to these highs. So just looking at the bare facts of the market, right? That's all I'm looking at. And the facts are structure and trend, support and resistance, candlesticks, this concept of value. That's all I look at, right? It's not, it's not, like magic sauce. It's just looking at the facts of the chart in the here and now, right? And like I said, I could go around in circles and say, the Fed plans to lower interest rates. This is bullish for the indices. Trump is very pro-business, right? He's cut corporate taxes. This is positive for the Dow Jones, right? Right? I'm seeing a buying opportunity in terms of the daily and potentially the weekly, right? That's what will guide me. But I really will be interested to see how this monthly candle finishes. I find that quite interesting. Obviously, we've got a long way to go before the month finishes. But yeah, if anything, Trev beats, it's a buying opportunity for me. But I don't want to buy it now, right? I don't want to buy into this big weekly candle. I don't want to buy into this monthly wicks up here that we're seeing. It hasn't finished forming, but we're seeing. I don't want to buy into that. And this day chart, you know, I don't want to buy into all of this bearishness, right? So we've got bearish candles, weekly chart, bearish candle, right? Now's not the time to buy it, okay? But, you know, ultimately, because of trend, we want to buy it. So we shall see. I would stay out of this market for that reason. So I hope that helps Trev Beats. Right, what else are we looking at here? Agora, hi Tom, how was your weekend? Thank you, Agora, for asking. What the hell did I do this weekend? I can remember what trade I took last Wednesday at 11 a.m. But if you ask me, you know, what I did at the weekend, oh yeah, I'll tell you what we did. We went to the desert, and I took the family, and we had another family, and we got stood up by another family, and we all went to the desert. So there's these like lakes in the desert. I think they're man-made, obviously, but then you can go there. They've got some lovely green spaces, but you're ultimately in the desert, and you can sort of pitch up we had a little wigwam, you know, took a bit of a barbecue, a disposable barbecue, you know, had a couple of drinks. Shh, don't tell anyone. Yeah, and just had a really nice time in the desert and come home coated in sand. And I'm still pulling sand out of places you don't want to know about. But yeah, it was thoroughly enjoyable. We said to ourselves we should do this more often. So there you go, Agora. That's what I did. What else are we looking at? Oh, Trev Beats is a drummer. Okay. Drumming is very cool. I had a mate who was a drummer. What was that band called? Quiz question, guys. You know the band that, you know, there was Battle of the Bands, and Girls Aloud was the female band that come out of it. What was the male band that come out of it? If anyone knows that, you probably wouldn't admit to it, firstly, but if you do, impressive knowledge. Anyway, so I know the guy. I used to go to school with the guy in that band who wrote all the songs as well with Pete Waterman, and he was a kick-ass drummer. And I always thought, you are a cool bastard for playing the drums. So there you go. Good for you, Trev Beats. I bet the ladies dig it. Right. Okay, Trev Beats. Well, we'll take a quick look at Trev Beats 4-hour candle. Let's take a look at that on the Dow Jones. So on the 4-hour, okay, all right, yeah, I hear what you're saying there. So Trev Beats is saying this H4 candle has broken this key level, and we have free air to the next support level. And I would totally agree with that analysis, but, right, you can trade a H4 break, right? You can. If this H4, has broken this level, you can trade it, right? You can. But what I would do is wait for the day chart to finish. Because let's imagine the day chart, even though the H4 is broken, let's imagine you end up with a wick and a candle that looks like this. If your candle looks like that, please report it to your broker. Right? But if you end up with a wick on the candle like that, all of a sudden you'll be less inclined to sell that. So I would wait for the daily candle. And if we end up getting a daily candle that looks like this, nice and bearish, right? Nice bearish red candle, then I would look at it the next day. So it's potentially a trade idea for me tomorrow, right? And let's say we get a candle like that. I would then go down to the H4, right? And I would be like, right, this area in here, Yeah, let's start selling from there. But I'd let the daily candle guide me first of all. All right, guys. So yeah, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, smash the notification button. Come join our trading community. Don't forget the Pepperstone promotion. All the information is all in our free Discord channel anyway, so come join it. All right, guys, have a great trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time.